T minus 5 minutes. T minus 4 minutes. T minus 3 minutes. T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah. Look, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, podcast lit. I think we got a hit. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Look, we got Prince, Blue and Steppe talking black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. It's Steppe and Blue.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What is up? It is the Black and Blue Lives podcast. I am your host, Dr. Prince Blue, and that is my homie, Sergeant Steppe. And I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody is buckled in because we're going to talk about what else? Immigration. What else? ICE. And no, not the ice at the Quick Trip, not the ice that you chew on when you're nervous, and not the ice that you get out of the refrigerator. I want to talk about the federal agents, ICE, the bad people, the goons, the goon squad, the goombas, the desperados, the jump out boys, whatever it is that you want to call them today. Well, Steppe, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Nothing, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, I'm in a foul mood. Particularly because of this subject, but I'll save that while I'm in a foul mood for that for real time, because I can't have that energy over here. But I will say this: the ice raids have made their way to Charlotte, and people are not happy. People who are, almost said the R word. People who are slow are mad. People who are uninformed are mad. People who are just ignorant are mad. People that don't understand how government works are mad. And then people who just want to use this as an opportunity to skip school and totally not take accountability or avoid work are mad. So we're going to cover the gamut today. So let's just get into it. Like I said, Charlotte has made it here. I have the latest tally pulled up here where they said over, let's see,
240?
over 250 have been
250.
arrested. A lot of them have criminal histories. But they can't confirm that all of them have criminal histories. And where people are upset about Steppe is, quote unquote, innocent people are being gathered up. And this is where I lose all empathy and sympathy, and I just want to just flat out call people stupid, because they can never tell you who innocently has been deported or who innocently has been detained. If you don't know how this stuff works, is you're detained, they find out your information, and once they find out that you have nothing to do, or you're good to go, you're released. And 10 times out of 10, the people they are looking for specific people. They have files on these people. They get those people and then they bring them in. Am I do I need to explain it any slower, Step? Am I off? Am I right? How does that work?
So I know a lot of guys who, well, not a lot. I have some connections that work with ICE. They have a target list. Same thing if we're doing an operation. Say that, like when we used to do a targeted neighborhood like Greertown or Belmont or something, we'd say, okay, we're looking for 20 people. These are our targets. But within those targets, if we find other people who are breaking the law, in this case here illegally, they get swept up in the dragnet. And what a lot of people don't understand is the last three sheriffs had ICE deputies. So that if we arrested someone for a violent offense, they had deputies that were trained by ICE and sworn in by ICE that could put detainers on people. Well, this last sheriff did away with that, so that's why one of the reasons that ICE came in our community, and he said that they're targeting the communities that did away with. LA used to have them, so
Hold on, step real quick. I just want to put some emphasis on democratically elected sheriff.
yeah.
There we go.
No, you're right. So, and of course, he got a lot of funding from the immigration groups when he got it. And thing. I can tell you, as a street crime sergeant, is as soon as he got elected, they did away with ICE, and the violent crime, robberies, shootings among illegal immigrants, the gangs. We had cartel houses. We still have them in Charlotte. Skyrocketed. Because then at that point, we were a sanctuary city and there was no deterrent for people who were illegally. And then that's why ICE is coming in. And if what's bad is if you come here the right way, I don't care where you're from, I'll welcome you with open arms. So the problem is if you can't just, it's like if I go to a concert, I was telling somebody this earlier, they were arguing with me. If I go to a concert and I sneak in the back door, and I don't have a ticket, and they catch me inside the venue, and they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "Oh, no, I'm here. You can't do anything to me because I'm already here. I'm not supposed to be here at the concert," and they kick me out, right? So it's the same principle with ICE, and I'm surprised. Like, I'll make a comment, and nothing hateful or anything, just a matter of fact. Hey, come here legally, do this the right way. And I've got death threats this week, multiple death threats, multiple, dude, some guy named Johnny Sins is some actor somewhere. I don't know where, but he's a port actor.
Yeah.
But they call me Johnny Sins. They call me
You do look like Johnny Sins, though.
I mean, I'll take it, right? I mean, and they're like, "You bald-headed bastard." They're the amount of death threats and people are like, "Let me catch you in the street." I'm like, dude, I'll DM you my address. And like, yeah, I want to make it hard for you. Don't wait till you catch me in the street. I'll come to my spot. The amount of hate that I got by making just nothing. It's not like I'm like everybody should get deported. I was just like, hey, come here legally, do this right way, or face the consequences.
This is my thing, Step. We are both retired law enforcement, so pretty much we come from a foundation of the law is the law. If you're here illegally, then you are breaking the law. I don't know why people struggle with that aspect. Yes, there's a human element to it, but at the end of the day, the law is the law. Like I can't go rob a bank because I'm poor. I can't go shoot somebody because they hurt somebody I love. The law is the law. Like I don't know why people struggle with that. And then I'm here to tell people think that ICE is just this new age thing. Like you said, we used to arrest people, take them downtown, and you will find out right quick by one of those deputies if they have an ICE hold on them. So ICE has been brand new, but see what's happened is people got used to just having an entitlement to just do whatever they want and not have any repercussions. Just sneak in here and just be here. And then people don't understand. You know what the majority of our reports were when we were handle Hispanic victims? Robberies. They will get robbed. They are targets. They are moving targets. You know why? Because they don't want to call us because they're here illegally. So guess what? The scum of the earth, they know that. So they rob them. They know they carry money. They rape them. They know they carry money because they don't put their money in the bank. And we are taking these reports. How many times, Step, have we went out to a robbery call and they literally don't want to do the report. They don't want to put their name down. They're bloody. They're beat up. They're like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. And we're like, you're not okay. But see, this is what happens. People don't understand that there's a cause and effect. When you label Charlotte as sanctuary city, that means people go up. Guess what's not going up as fast as the people that's coming over here legally? The police. So there's less police to handle these situations, and things are happening, and then police are caught in the middle, and there's nothing else that can be done other than we have to wait till stuff gets bad, fix it, and then we're getting the blame for it.
We have less police on the street now than we did 20 years ago, and sometimes I'm seeing these videos that are people were saying, hey, if you make a report that you're a robbery, we used to get this a lot. We would have it where someone would want to stay in the country, so they'd make a report of being robbed, and because they thought it automatically, it's called a substantial assistance. So the DA could make a request to ICE that if, hey, we have a victim that's offering substantial assistance, then they could get a visa to stand by. But what we found and what the people were telling them to do now is make false police reports. And they think if they're just a victim of a crime, they get to stay here. But that's not how it works. So they said the 150,000 in Mecklenburg County out of, say, 1 million are foreign born. Not all those are illegal immigrants. But a lot of them are. So if they said within the Biden administration, approximately 30 million illegal immigrants came in the country, that's 30 Mecklenburg counties. Think of the infrastructure: police, fire, medical, schools, garbage, roads, housing that takes to run Mecklenburg County. So if you take 30 Mecklenburg counties, and a lot of these people, unfortunately, are on 56% of illegal immigrants or on food stamps. And so they're coming here, but they're costing more than they're providing. And that's the problem. That I was talking to a guy who came here legally from Australia, and he said that he's on the visa for the work visa, and he said that to come over here with a visa, there's a process, but his work has to be related to what his degree is. He's got to have a bachelor's degree, a minimum bachelor's degree, and his work has to be related to what his bachelor's degree is in, and he's allowed to come over here and work. So he's on a visa, and so they're able to do it. But the problem, if you get a lot of low quality workers, and I feel bad for them because a lot of them are over here just trying to make it a better life for themselves. But it's not our responsibility to have to pay their the health care, their infrastructure. Our taxes go up. Come here the right way, or don't. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of sympathy for it. And not be like, I know there's plenty of wonderful people that are coming over here, but the problem, there's no other country in the world that allows you
where you could just go there and tell them that you're going to stay there.
Stay. Yeah.
But there's no other country. And then another thing about it is, let's have the conversation. When I got my shooting in 2012, where a person pointed a gun at me and I shot them, you want to guess what that person's status was over here? Illegal. So,
and when we worked an area that ICE is targeting, which is Central Ave, where we caught it Little Mexico, because a lot of Hispanics from all over, but we call it Little Mexico because the whole 4 or 5 miles of that stretch is just Hispanic. You go in, no one speaks English. They're almost every shift they're getting robbed.
They're drinking and driving. They're doing a lot. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The thing is, and we have to have this conversation. They're not sending you their best. Like there's no astronauts, there's no lawyers, there's no doctors, there's no astrophysicists. There's none of that stuff going on. The people that are being rounded up with the criminal history, guess what they have on their jacket? They have sex offenses, violent offenses, drug offenses. You have to take out the emotion. You have to understand when things get carried away, this is what happens. The old system wasn't flawless, but it was better than this one, where you had general guidelines and you enforced it versus saying, hey, come on in.
And we had the former police officer who is an immigration attorney now, So we got a really good perspective, what maybe 7, 8 episodes ago, of what they're dealing with, and we're all in agreement. It needs to be an easier way for people to come over here and get visas streamlined. There's no doubt about that. But the problem is Congress makes the laws. So even the Democrats that made the laws are criticizing the Border Patrol and calling them Nazis and Gestapo. And there's so much misinformation going around online. I hate to use that word because it's a liberal word, I think. But they're telling people they can't do anything to you. Like you could resist them, you could do this, and they can't do anything to you.
You could put a camera in their face. You could push them. You could protect an immigrant. You could hoard a illegal immigrant. It's like what?
And these people, you know, we had a Border Patrol agent get rammed a couple of days ago by a Hispanic legal citizen out of anger, and they had a chase with him, and then the local news didn't cover it, you know, and people were like, they had the video of, oh, he's just here to work, and they mischaracterized everything, and dude, it's a mess. So, and then the kids walking out of school, and I'm
over 30,000 CMS students did not show up to class,
and I'm like, okay, that's not going to, when they walked out, that's not going to change anything. I get it. If I'm illegal, I might not go to school, but the thing they're doing. And then the hate I got about, you know, they want to kill me. They call me all these names. I'm bald headed. I'm like, it's shaving, not bald. Yeah, like 30% of it might not grow back, but it's still shaving. And there's no dialogue going on. It's just hate. You can't disagree with that.
You can't uphold the law. That's the weird thing where I don't understand why people struggle with this. But they just over here to work, blah blah blah. But are they here illegally? If the answer is yes, that is against the law. I don't know why people are struggling.
As retired officers, or even if we're officers and we say we're drunk driving or we're doing something, we're held accountable. We can't.
Is it not against the law to drive drunk?
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter. I was trying to get home. Nobody was going to pick me up.
This is a good person, so we're not going to charge them. The problem is the law is the law. The Democrats love to say no one's above the law unless it's one of them.
Unless it fits their agenda.
But so there's rules and regulations to abide by, and we're all in agreement that it needs to be streamlined, simplified, but the thing is, if you sneak over here and you get caught and get sent back, you don't have the right to resist arrest. If you're here and you're a citizen, you don't have the right to obstruct ICE. You don't have the right to tell people to resist arrest and do this stuff. You're held accountable, just like we are. And we're a country of laws, and we're rules of laws. But it's just so frustrating, man. And then, you can't even. They want to attack you and call you names, and I don't know. And they.
All I just know at the very core, at the foundation, we're both retired police officers, and now I'm an educator. And at the end of the day, the law's law. I can't stand up in front of students and talk about the law and then say, well, they're here for a good reason,
or they're a good person, so we can't enforce the law.
The law is the law, and people are so struggling with that. And
they're good. Some of them are good people. No one's saying they're pieces of shit. The ones that are here that are getting tied up. Now there's a lot of the people that are arresting are sex offenders. They're violent criminals. They're multiple arrests. They're doing bad things, and even there, those guys are made out to be like martyrs and innocent people. But if you're here illegally and I get out with you, it's like if I'm on the street and I get out and you're smoking a blunt, but you're a good person.
The law's the law.
The law. I have to enforce the law, and I can't be like, well, he's a nice person. I've had to arrest and enforce laws on many nice people. It's like, damn, dude, I hate I had to do that. That's a really good dude, but you have to do it. So the way they're trying to make ICE out as an enemy, and they've had 40 incidents throughout the nation in the last 2 months where their ICE agents have been like rammed by vehicles, like just people
ICE agents have
resisting.
been doxxed. Their family have been,
You
ran
can't
up
do that.
on. It's
They're
like,
law enforcement.
wow.
And people complain, oh, they have shirts with police on. Well, guess what? They're the police, right? That's a universal
We have to
symbol for
have
police.
some type of identification.
Yeah.
That
So and
because
the
we can't be
mask.
in a court. What were we always instructed to do in our reports on November 19th, 2025 at approximately 11:35? I, Officer Prince Blue, working for Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department, was driving vehicle 506. That's setting it up. All these things to let you know I am a police officer. You knew who I was. I clearly identified myself. So now this is how we proceed.
And there's no defense. These people
I didn't
think,
know.
yeah, these people get emboldened by these liberal, our city council, our mayors throughout the nation and stuff that are the governors that are liberal. But the feds are cracking down on these people. So you can't be like, well, he's got all these people like, oh, if they have their face covered, don't have their name, you could resist arrest. No, good luck with that. So there's no requirement, there's no law that requires a federal agent to tell you what their name is, right? And why would they right now? Like there's a certain point when in the riots, we took off our name tags because we were getting doxxed and threatened. So we had numbers. We had numbers. But if you have officers and clearly marked, they're in BD uniforms or plain clothes, you can enforce laws in plain clothes, and they have a tactical vest that says police, ICE, or whatever. That's enough. A lot of times when you do vice warrants or UC guys, they would have their balaclavas on their face. They can still enforce the law. They're not, but you don't have to. We're not saying, hey, this is Detective Kello. He's, with Vice. He's, no, there's certain reasons you have your face covered. And they have a legit reason because their families are being threatened to have their face covered. So, but just because they have their face covered and they won't tell you their name doesn't mean they can't enforce the law. That's a myth.
And real quick, Step, let's talk on it about the police, CMPD, and other departments across the United States. Their involvement in this, because when you have Democratic mayors or any type of political, let's say any type of political affiliation that are flat out using police officers as pawns, saying we won't assist, we won't help. If we see federal agents getting their brains beat in, we have nothing to do. Like, that's not how policing works.
No. And if a federal agent smashes your car window because you refuse to get out of the car, they're allowed to do that. And it was an Eastway division officer, and hopefully they didn't take a report. The guy called that happened in Eastway, and I love how these things happen where they have the right to do a voluntary contact and ask these people questions. And if they ask, hey, are you a legal citizen? And you say, no, I'm not talking to you, or I plead the fifth, or whatever, they have the right to, at that point, they have reasonable suspicion. You're better off to lie and say, yes, I am, and not be, and they really can't do anything. But if you say no or won't answer, that gives them reasonable suspicion under case law to investigate. So we had an incident in Eastway where they went up and said, are you U.S. citizens? I plead the fifth. I don't talk to the police. He said, well, okay, well, now at this point, they have reasonable suspicion that he might not be. And asked to provide ID. He wouldn't provide ID. Said, step out of the car. He wouldn't step out of the car. Well, what happens if we stop somebody and we have reasons? We break the window and pull them out, and they detained him. And then after the investigation, he did have ID in his pocket. He just didn't provide it. And he was a U.S. citizen, and they let him go, even though he could still be charged with obstructing delay at that point. Once you have reasonable suspicion, and if you have reasonable suspicion and they resist or delay that investigation, but they let him go because they're bass fishing. He's a brim. And then the news media comes out and it's like, oh, they're detaining an American citizen. He had a real ID. Well, he didn't show it to him. If he would have showed it to him, if he would have said, hey, yeah, here I am, they would have been, oh, cool, have a good day at Bounce. But the problem is people are getting militant and saying they don't have to do anything. And it's causing all these problems. And it's probably the hardest job in America right now to be. I feel really bad. It's bad enough to be a cop to get all this kickback and stuff, but to be an ICE agent right now, I mean,
Yeah.
and a lot of these ICE agents are Hispanic.
Yeah. And they're offering bonuses and everything. They got commercials on TV. Nobody is signing up to be an ICE agent right now.
No, sad,
So,
man.
So with that being said, you know, I hope for the best. I hope this goes over quickly and thoroughly in Charlotte and move on, and the kids can go back to school, and everything can go back to quote unquote normal. But if I can give any advice to the people out there, stay out these ICE agents' way. Just cooperate.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Let the sheriff bring ICE back to the jail and deport these violent criminals, and ICE would be in the communities rounding people up.
That is correct. You come into office and you think you're being progressive, allowing degeneracy and lawlessness upon your city, and you're doing nothing but a disservice, because now the federal government is here. Why? Because you wanted to get brownie points to get elected, and look what you did. You did a horrible ass job. So with that being said, we'll be back after this message.
I know. You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, I'm here to tell you. It's me, Inked, and I need you guys to head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. Yes, that's right. Trifecta merch is here. It is here for our Trifecta family to show their love and support and advertise for free. Well, not technically for free. You did pay for it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Head on over to ajsrantroom.com and pick up your Trifecta merch. We're all inclusive. If Prince can wear it, so can you. Have a good one.
All right, now it's time for that favorite part where everybody, they love the breakdowns. We got to find a cool name for the breakdowns that we doing here. So with the first video, we're going to start with, let me see. Let's start with this one. Let's start with this video, and then we'll break it down. I think this is the one where, again, we have women reverting back to the mean when things go wrong.
You still got that knife? Yep. Oh. Put the fucking knife down! Drop the goddamn knife! Drop it! Let it go. No. Get out there. Let it go. Get out there.
Steppe, as you can see, I'm clearly very aggravated.
Clearly. Goddamn. It's something about their screaming is just
what
annoys the shit out of me. There's no screaming in police work. You can't scream. The thing is, number one, if someone has an edge weapon or an axe or stick or something very dangerous, I'm not pulling my fucking taser out. I'm going lethal, right? The only time you want to have non-lethal if you have cover, concealment, distance, something in between you, and you have lethal cover, multiple officers there with lethal cover. Because the problem is, whatever department they obviously don't do transition training, right? She got her taser out, and her taser she didn't let it go and go to her gun. You cannot have your taser out if this person is walking towards you with a knife, because if it's ineffective, you're going to get stabbed. And this guy obviously could have easily killed her, right? I don't know if she got stabbed or not, but thank God the officer opened fire. But she's just yelling. She goes to midbrain because the taser doesn't work. And what happens? She hadn't thought past mentally what happens if this taser doesn't work. Drop the fucking taser, pull your gun out, and shoot. But you shouldn't have your taser out. You should have this guy at gunpoint, unless he's static, walking away, or you have something in between you. You have multiple officers with lethal cover. You have, hey, Blue, we got lethal. Give go taser, right? And that's not, if he's coming at you, you don't try to tase him when you can't. Because how many times do they have to shoot him? They shot maybe 10 rounds or something.
Clearly, he was high on something.
He was coming, but when my shooting in 16, the dude got shot like 9 times before he
kept fighting.
He kept fighting. Like you can't just. And if somebody's running at you with adrenaline or drugs, you can't rely on that fucking taser. It doesn't work. It works 50% of the time.
It was the screaming for me. Like,
I can't stand the scream. Do not fucking scream. Did you see the one? There was one that they just released where I guess it's a captain up in I think it was like somewhere in New York or somewhere. The captain was up there and gets shot. She runs down the steps now, like, oh, captain got shot. Like it like what the fuck? Like, get your fucking ass up there. And then eventually he comes down the steps. He got shot, but she just left cover. There's a shooting. She just yells and screams and runs down the steps and out the house to tell the officer, oh, he got shot. Like it just left him.
It's getting harder and harder to defend them being police officers. I'm just being honest. Like, the moment something like that happened, I kid you not, I really want departments to really sit that person down and be like, this isn't for you. Give us your badge.
They know they need you. How many videos have we watched where this happens, where they go to midbrain? You have to have it, and guys and girls, but statistically, it happens more between women because they think, how many women have you met that comes in law enforcement? Oh, I just be nice to people and they do what I tell them to. Okay, good luck with that shit. And then I love the videos, or you see it happen. I don't really love it, but they're trying to use their being nice. They get punched in the face by some dude. They don't give a fuck that you're a female. They see you as weak, so they're going to try you. It's not. We're not dealing with logical, normal, reasoning type of people in the field of law enforcement. These people, a lot of them have mental health issues that will kill you.
They're drug addicts. They have nothing to live for. They
wives,
just want you gone.
They don't give a shit that you're a female. They will punch you in the fucking face to get away, or stab you in this, or do whatever. But you have to have the. And very few women actually do. We talked about this multiple times. Very few actually do. I would say 10% and that's probably
being generous.
The numbers. Yeah. And guys, and it's not much better right now. It's probably 30-40%. So the numbers are higher.
And their reason is because they don't want to get fired.
Yeah,
One reason is because naturally and through bad training or just who they are and their nature, they don't want to engage. And then you got the men not want to engage because they don't want to get fired.
And you got the admin and these social justice warriors telling people, oh, if you just talk to them, they'll do what you say. So they never process, well, what happens when talking doesn't work and I have to use force? They never think of that because they're like, oh, I had an officer tell me one time that he worked for Chick-fil-A and that he knows how to talk to people, and that's why he's never been in the use of force. And I want to be, no, because you're only been on for a year or 2 years. You work in an area where there's no one's used force in that area that you were, but like go to Nation 4 in Airwood.
Metro, North Tryon, Steel Creek, Eastway, have at it.
And a lot of these departments, they have Colonel Grossman that used to be really big and do the warrior mindset. And a lot of the departments banned officers, even on their own time, going to these seminars because he talks you how to like fight when it's fight or flight, how to fight and work through this stuff. And the departments are become so pansified and they don't want warriors. We don't want warriors. Well, if someone's breaking your house at 3 a.m. and your wife is getting raped,
warriors. We want
warriors to show up. I guarantee you want me and my guys to show up and not some of these pansy cops because they handle things totally different. You need people with a mindset that are willing to do harm to other people to protect people. And that's what a lot of these people don't understand is the only thing they're going to respect is hey, this guy is going to hurt me if I resist arrest. This guy's not, he might shoot me if I pull out a knife.
All that,
That-
damn screaming, man. Like,
Dude, I
like
can't stand it. There's
she
no-
was so scared. She was scared. She
And
was
she's
legit.
midbrain. She kept her taser
She
out.
kept sparking it.
Because she's in midbrain. She hadn't processed it mentally. Okay, if this doesn't work, what would we do? Fuck that shit. You throw that shit down. You pull out your gun and put rounds
And you
on 'em.
unload the clip, the full clip into him, in which she did not do. And thank God that her
She's just
partner
yelling.
was
She would have
there.
been dead. And I'm not sure that guy really wanted to kill her. Maybe it was suicide by cop. I don't know the details, but he could have. She should have been dead. She's lucky.
Well, yeah. Fortunately, it doesn't get better because we have another one here. But this one is a little more funnier. So let's enjoy. We're probably going to get a copyright for that, but Step, let's talk about it. You have to be physically fit to be a police officer. And am I the foremost expert to talk about it? Yes and no. Yes, because I did the job, I experienced the job, and I know how hard it is to do that job when you're in shape. I also know how much harder it is to do that job when you're out of shape. And
Well,
that's
we see
one of
videos
the,
you catching people even when you were at your max weight.
correct. So, and I know that presence means everything. And if you're not in shape to do this job, you're going to be in trouble. Now, for me, luckily for me, I never got hurt because I either was tired, I couldn't defend myself, or whatever that is. But there, and we saw this. The standards were being lowered when it came to how many officers were you seeing with they were on light duty because they were out of shape. They were on light duty because they couldn't pass the PT test. I never failed the PT test. Never failed the PT test during my career. No matter how fat or how out of shape I was, I never failed it. I always passed it. I was never put on any probation, anything like that. These people, like, what happened to the best of the best being a police officer? What happened to having pride in being a police officer? Like what happened to it? Like I don't understand how you could get into a profession and then decide that, you know what, me just putting on this uniform is enough.
For too many people, it's just a job, and to be successful and benefit the community and be the best you can, it can't just be a job. It has to be a you have to take it seriously. It has to be a calling. You have to be like, hey, I want to learn all the case law I can. I want to stay in shape. I want to know what I can and can't do. It's everything. I got to stay in shape so I could I've seen it where I've been fighting somebody on the side of a fence, a chain link fence, and the officer couldn't get over the 3-foot chain link fence to help me, and that's an issue. So, and the problem is when you and I applied, we talked about this before too, is there were 2,000 people trying to get in a 50-person class. Now there's like 200 people trying to get a 50-person class, and they're taking. And I talked to it started. It's really bad in 2020 when things started to decline. But I talked to the lieutenants and they're like, hey, we're hiring people, but they're not cops. I mean, they said, like, we're not hiring cops. We're hiring bodies to do reports, but it in the mind of most, anybody that's smart could be a cop. Well, no, it takes a certain mindset. You can't. I mean, it takes a certain kind of individual in training you get shots fired and you run toward the shots. You don't run away. You run away from the fight, you run towards it, right? And too many of these people, they're scared of the job. They're not qualified. They're not trained. They don't give a shit about, I mean, it's
You mean, Steph? Let's just call it what it is. You look at like sometimes I get the videos, whether it be LinkedIn or whatever, where they introduce a new class and they show them like walking in, and I'm literally like looking at them, and I'm like, there's no way.
no, man. And I mean, you don't have to be the fucking jack dude, and like, but you have to take care of yourself, and
You have to have a
male,
type of
male,
presence
or-
about
male or
yourself.
female, you have to, because if you don't, these assholes are going to try you. It's all, number one rule is the way you look determines if the person is going to try you or not. Right before you say anything, it's command presence, right? So when you show up to a call, the person makes it, shit, I could try him, or they're sizing you up, and then it could be, maybe I could try him, maybe I could get away, maybe I could run, maybe I could fight and win, maybe I could shoot and kill him and get away. Or then it's like, okay, well, then they're talking. Okay, well, he didn't know what he's talking about. So they're sizing you up, the way you look, the way you present yourself. If I, we talked about it before. If you go in the hood, if I go to Belmont Allen and I get out with a group of 10 people slinging dope, and I'm like, hey guys, I'm Sergeant Steppe. I just want to make sure you guys are dealing drugs. What's going on?
Hey,
They're
get
gonna be
out here,
yeah,
white
fuck
boy.
you. Yeah, fuck you, asshole. But if I get up, yo, bro, what the fuck's going on, man? Yeah, or like, hey, man, what's up? Like, if you talk to them straight up, they're like, oh man, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? And they treat you differently. I mean, I'm not saying get out and you disrespect, like, yeah, fuck y'all, get out.
Nah, you just get out. You be like, what's
You
good,
like, hey, man,
everybody?
what's up,
Like,
man?
what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man? We got y'all
And
here.
9 out of 10, they knew you. They'll be like, hey, yo, sorry, Step, what's good?
And when
Hey,
they know
staying out
you,
of trouble, man. We ain't doing nothing, man. We just hanging out. Like you, but if you get out like, hi guys,
they'll be like, fuck you. Because they get street cred. If they're able to punk you out, it's like the dudes walking around. I feel bad for these ICE guys at Border Patrol, just yelling at them and doing, and because they know they could get away with it, because they don't have time and the resources to deal with minor obstructing charges, whatever the federal level is of that, and they just put up with so much shit. And I feel bad for them. I always wanted to go find out where they're working and like be a counter protester by myself, be like, yeah, like, keep up the good work, guys, and then let the people focus on me so they can do their job.
yeah. But you just gotta have more pride in yourself as a police officer, because it takes a lot, man. Because 90% of the job is presence, and if that's not squared away, then it's just gonna be rough for you. Okay, so this next video we have is a I think it's familiar. It should be familiar to you. It wasn't familiar to me until it was explained to me. So let's take a look.
He's running back this way. You better get the ground. Towards the other shot. You better stop. Stop. Get the ground to it now. Towards the office. Go around the side of the building. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Don't you move. I will shoot you. Get on the fucking ground. Get on the ground. Get on the fucking ground. You better get on the ground. I will shoot you in the fucking head. On the ground now!
Got it.
Come on, put your head behind your back. Hands behind your back. Flip over. All right. He's been tased. He's 72.
All right. So
We
explain.
got some good memories.
Explain that video.
Get some, motherfucker.
Explain that video.
So me and my team, I was a recon sergeant. We were looking for a group of individuals, two groups actually, that were going around doing takeover robberies, shooting. They'd come in and shoot. I don't know what, dude. If you're gonna do a robbery, just slide somebody a note or say, hey, give me your money. But the amount of heat you're gonna bring on yourself by shooting people or shooting a gun is gonna be enormous, right? So these groups, guys, we were looking for them for a couple of weeks. They were going in doing takeover robberies. And they would come and shoot in the ground or there. I think they shot a couple of people with a leg or something. And I was on the way home, and me and my group were looking for these guys. And another district went 43 with him, which is a vehicle chase. And I'm like, dude, I'm on the way home. I'm like, I'm not gonna miss out on this shit. So I'm like, so they crash. They get a couple people in custody. This guy jumps and runs. They're tracking him with K9. I get out on the perimeter. He jumps over a fence. I start chasing him. Me and another officer, patrol officer. He's reaching his waistband. I'm like, I will shoot. They've already fired shots. They just did a robbery right before the chase, and they fired around. So I'm chasing him. I got my gun out because I'm not pulling my fucking taser out, and he's reaching his waistband like this. Well, it's not very clear on the video, but he's reaching his waistband, consistent with someone going with a firearm, and I'm waiting for him to. I'm about to smoke the dude. And I'm running before a little bit before the camera cuts on because there's a 30-second delay before I cut it on. But yelling him, show me his hands. He get on the ground. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you. He's reaching. He's like this, like consistently. Well, he had a gun, and he fell, and the gun fell down, and he got back up, and then he's running, and I see his hands are free. So then I transition, right? I put up my gun, I pull my taser, and I deploy the taser, hit him in the back. And we've talked about this before. I hit him, he fell and hit his head, end up destroying his orbital socket.
Great.
Not excessive use of force, because the way the courts look at it is, was the force I used reasonable and justified? So if I tase him and he falls and hits his head and dies, it doesn't make it an excessive use of force, right? Was my force I used was reasonable, right? So I had to get him in custody and recovered the gun. Well, we talked about this before. Additionally, this is one of the three things when I was on the use of force committee that got changed based on my use of force. This was one of them. They said that he was in an act of aggression when I tased him. So that's number one. Number two, they said I threatened him, said I would shoot him in the head. There was a communicating a threat, which is...
That was communicating a promise.
I'm telling you, I'm like, dude, he's reaching for a gun, which he was, and he fell and dropped the gun. I don't know if he was trying to get it to toss it or trying to engage me. Either way, I'm telling him, I will shoot you in the head. I will shoot you in your fucking head. And I'm telling him what I'm going to do, and I would have done it. And then they didn't like the fact that I was saying fuck it, like use the F word. Well, It's a high stress situation. But basically,
You're on the ground, sir.
So basically, they had three things. They didn't like the cursing, they didn't like the threat, and they didn't like the deployment of taser. And all three got overruled by the use of force committee. And then we changed the policy when I was on the board for the use of force committee. And they brought this up, and I remember Mitchell was like, "Here's another one of steps policies where they changed it, and it helped the officers saying no." And my argument was K9 was tracking this guy, was chasing him. K9 could have ate his face off. If you've seen K9 bites, they're a lot worse than a taser.
They're beautiful.
So I'm like, if we could deploy, and in my articulation was, if we could deploy the dog and they chew his face off or bite his leg off, and that's not excessive, then how is a taser deployment excessive? And they're, oh, well, that makes sense. So we changed the taser policy where in this situation, there would be no question. Of course, it shouldn't be anyway, but it's a under the department policy, you could do that now and tase someone that's not he based on the seriousness of the crime and everything else. He possibly have a weapon. So it was it's pretty intense. So, instead of being like, "Hey, good job, Steppe. You're on your way home." You end up catching this armed robbery guy.
And to let people know, you could have turned your radio off and went to bed.
And that's what a lot of people do. I was on the way home, and it's the group we were looking for. And shout out to it was a sergeant from Independence. They got behind they had a robbery, takeover robbery. He got behind it. Him and another. They started the chase, and they weren't in the office just watching TV like a lot of the sergeants do. And we got a bunch of bad guys out of the street and sent them to prison.
Amen. So there you go. That's why I didn't have nothing. That was your video. That was your moment. Beautiful. And people won't recognize that you could have literally went home. That scumbag could have murdered 8 cops and 3 other people, and you would have been asleep at home in your bed. But no, what you decided to do was go get him and took him off the street.
And what people don't realize too is the legal justification. I could have probably shot the dude in the back.
Easy.
And been justified. And because he's just committed a armed robbery shooting. He's reaching
2 victims.
Like he's reaching for a gun. I don't have to wait for him to go like this. And a lot of people are, oh, you can't shoot people in the back. Bullshit. Because he's running. I had a buddy in Wilmington that worked with my brother. He was a sergeant here. His brother got shot. He was chasing a guy that he went like this and shot his brother in the face, and he had to permanently disable him. And the bad guy never looked back. He was like this and shot him. You don't have to wait for someone to stop, turn around, so people, you shot him in the back. No, that would have been. I could have shot that guy in the back and been legally justified and been cleared through the department based on he had a gun, he was reaching for it, and but through like we talked about, there's a lot of people who get shot. We didn't shoot because we take those extra steps
and never hear a word about it. But all they hear about is when the piece of shits get shot. But hey, we appreciate everybody. Remember, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and follow at Black Blue Lives, me at Real Prince Blue on all social media platforms, him Insta Step 2223, TikTok TOG4280. Make sure y'all subscribe, man. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all keep sending the videos in. We appreciate y'all so much. To all the ICE agents and the law enforcement officers out there, we're praying for you. We're with you. You are on the right side of the law. You are doing what you have been trained to do, which you are legally able to do. So keep going. I'm not going to preference anything because we already know if I'm not talking about people that's out here being illegal, anything like that. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm tired of apologizing for enforcing the law. I'm tired of apologizing for making our citizens safer, making America safer, making our country safer. I'm not apologizing for it because the people who want anarchy and chaos, they want stuff through nefarious means, and I'm not falling for it anymore. So with that being said, he's Step. I'm Prince. We'll see y'all next week. Everybody, be safe. All right, peace.
Yeah. Look, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, that's a new vibe. Yeah. Hey, park catalyst. I think we got a hit. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives. Yeah. Look, we got Prince, Blue, and Steppe talking black and blue lives. Yeah. Hey, black and blue lives.